Welcome back to From the Pages of Inside Wrestling, the February 1990 issue. This is one of those issues where the content just keeps coming, and it starts right at the front with Sincerely Yours. You've got letters covering Ric Flair changing, readers reacting to Andre the Giant, and that typical mix of opinions that always shows up in these pages. Some readers are still locked in on Flair as the top guy. Others are questioning him, and Andre's name still carries weight even in this stage of his career. It feels like a mix of respect, criticism, and people just trying to make sense of where things are at. The editor's notebook with Stu Sachs brings up the idea of an NWA World Women's Championship, and that stands out because it's not something you see pushed heavily at this point. It's more of a forward-looking idea, like the magazine is trying to plant the seed that the business can expand beyond what it's currently doing. It's quick, but it sticks with you. Behind the dressing room door focuses on referee Tommy Young, and this is one of those features that pulls back a little and shows how important referees actually are. It talks about how much respect he commands, how he handles control in matches, and how wrestlers respond to him. It's not flashy, but it adds depth to the issue because it's something you don't usually think about when you're watching. Then On the Road with Craig Peters hits a completely different tone. This is where the magazine leans into the idea that the sport is getting more violent. Not in a casual way, but in a noticeable way. The matches are rougher, the rivalries are more intense, and there's a sense that things are going further than they used to. That idea carries through the rest of the issue, whether it's directly mentioned or not. Names making news with Bill Apter moves things along with updates across the wrestling world. This is where you get that snapshot of everything happening at once. Different territories, different promotions, all moving at the same time. It keeps the issue grounded in the present. The Insider by Eddie Elner is one of those pieces that goes a little sideways, talking about racing and wrestling crossing paths, and it's not something you expect, but that's part of the appeal. It shows how wide the wrestling world can stretch and how it connects to things outside of the ring. On Assignment with Liz Hunter brings in the Butcher from Borger, and that's Terry Funk energy all over it. Rough, unpredictable, and always feeling like something could go wrong at any second. It's written in a way that keeps that reputation intact without needing to overdo it. Where Are They Now gives you quick updates on past names, and this is always one of those sections that makes you stop for a second. Some guys are still around, some have faded off, and it reminds you how quickly things move. Capsule Profile. 163 is Ric Flair, and it's exactly what you expect. Career highlights, positioning him at the top, and reinforcing that no matter what else is going on, he's still the central figure in the NWA. The pinup side of it adds to that larger-than-life feel that magazines leaned into. News from the wrestling capitals expands everything again, with reports from different areas, matches, results, and reactions from across the country and beyond. It builds that sense that wrestling isn't just one place, it's happening everywhere at once. Matt Brock's plain speaking shifts into more opinion, talking about names like Jumbo Tsuruta, Gossett, and Von Erich. It's a mix of international and domestic focus, and it gives you a different perspective compared to the straight reporting sections. And then you hit the feature section, and this is where things really start to stand out. The Jimmy Snuka piece leans hard into the idea that something isn't right. Are these the eyes of a madman? Is the hook, and the article sticks to that. It's not subtle. It talks about his behavior, how he's acting more unpredictable, more aggressive, and less controlled than before. It's framed in a way that makes you question where he's at mentally, not just physically. It's one of the more intense character pieces in the issue. Right after that, Five Shore Roads to Success for Tom Zenk feels completely different. This is structured advice, step-by-step thinking on what he needs to do to move up. It talks about presentation, decision-making, positioning himself correctly, and making the most of his opportunities. It's almost like a blueprint for a rising star, which contrasts nicely with the instability shown in the Snuka piece. The sex symbol showdown is one of the most interesting parts of the magazine. Rick Rude is out, Roddy Piper is in, and the explanation is simple. The fans prefer Piper, not because of looks in the traditional sense, but because of personality, presence, and how he connects. That's a big shift. Like it shows that charisma is starting to outweigh image in a noticeable way. Then you get Road Warriors versus Skyscrapers, and this is exactly what it sounds like. Two massive teams colliding with no finesse, just power. The article leans into the size, the strength, and the impact of everything they do. It's about who hits harder, who lasts longer, and who can take control in a situation where control doesn't come easy. The Destruction Crew hot seat keeps that aggressive tone going. Wayne Bloom and Mike Enos come across loud, confident, and completely sure of themselves. It's not polished, it's not careful, it's direct. They talk like a team that believes they belong at the top, and they're not interested in convincing anyone. They're telling you. Then the issue shifts again with Kerry Von Erich, champion again. This is the emotional center of the magazine. It goes through the setbacks, the struggle, and what it took to get back to the top. It's written with a sense of payoff. Not just that he won, but that it means something because of everything that came before it. It's easily one of the strongest pieces in the issue. The one-on-one with Woman and Rick Steiner adds another layer. It's not a match, it's a confrontation. Back and forth, personality driven with each side taking shots. It's about presence as much as anything else. Then you close out with the back sections. Official wrestling ratings, laying out the top 15 across categories. Roll call of champions, giving you the full landscape of who holds what. And Blast from the Past, bringing it back around. And with a look at history, reminding you how everything connects to what came before. Even the ads play their part. The back issue grab bag subscription offers, pushing the idea that this isn't just one magazine, it's part of a bigger system. If you want to keep up, you stay plugged in. And when you step back from this issue, what stands out is how much is happening at once. Different tones, different types of stories, all moving together. Nothing feels simple and nothing feels completely settled. If this one brought you back, even for a few minutes, save it and come back to it. And drop your memory from this era. What stood out to you when you went through it? See you next time. Farewell from the Empire Stat.